Hey guys, Melissa Cruz here with eXp Realty. Hope you're having a great day. I'm coming to you today with episode number 5 on my buyer series. And today's episode, we're going to talk about what does it cost to buy a house. I know we haven't really talked about that too much. We talked about a couple of the fees and things like that. But the biggest question that I get when I work with a buyer is, what is my fee to you? What do I have to pay you, as my realtor? And honestly, guys, nothing. I don't charge a buyer's transaction fee or a seller transaction fee. But as far as a buyer, it's nothing to you. It's free for you to use me. And if you're wondering how I get paid, it's by the seller. So whatever home that you do decide to purchase, the seller pays me as well as the listing realtor who listed the home. So that's how our commission is worked out. So there's no additional fees to you guys to have to use any buyer's realtor, shouldn't be, unless they're charging like a transaction fee. But the other biggest thing I think people aren't sure of is the appraisal. So a lot of first-time home buyers don't necessarily have like all the cash to put down, so they do have to finance. And your lender, in order to give you an approval to finance you, to give you that money to buy the home, you have to have an appraisal done. And so this is kind of like the last step, and the appraisal could still make or break the deal. If the appraisal comes in and it's not worth what the lender's trying to give you to borrow, the lender's only going to give you what the house is worth. So you just have to keep in mind that sometimes we have to renegotiate depending on if it came in too low or came in over or whatever the situation is. We'll talk about those kinds of things as they come along. But that's one thing that you can't get away from. I mean, the appraisal will have to get done. So I know that wasn't something I mentioned in the last episode. But the next episode is the final episode, because once we get past the appraisal part, everything's good to go. Guess who's zooming to the closing table? Hello. So that's always a fun time. Nerve-wracking, but it's a fun time. So you want to make sure during the process, I don't think I mentioned this before either, that you don't put anything on your credit cards. All of these fees and these things that you have to pay for, the inspection, survey, you need to have the money to do that. So it's not going to be part of your down payment. It's just going to be an extra, I want to say anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500, depending on, whether you need these things or not or whatever, or if a seller had stuff that they could have given you or whatever. You can't put that on the credit card, as well as furniture. You can't go to Aaron's and say, hey, I want to, get this furniture. They're like, oh yeah, you don't have to pay it back for like 60 months. That's still considered a debt, and that will completely change your whole like financing, and it'll blow up the deal. Either blow it up and we can't close, or we can close, but it's going to push it back to get that all worked out and fixed out. So a couple things, and I probably can do a video just on the things that you shouldn't do when you're under contract. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so catch the next episode. We're going to talk about closing and what that looks like, and then I get to hand you your keys. So it's always a fun time. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on my last episode. Take care, guys.